Hello and welcome to Watchdog Wargaming. Today is an unboxing of Warlord Games Chinese People Volunteer Army Conscript Squad for the Korean War. This is part 3 of my Boltaction Korean War supplement review of the figures available from Warlord Games. A large portion of the Chinese People's Volunteer Army was made up of conscript peasant soldiers and soldiers captured during the Civil War with the nationalist Chinese. Some soldiers had actually surrendered during the Civil War and forcibly conscripted. Loyalty and capability remained in question for those conscripted squads. Some soldiers had very little military training and were armed with rifles and soldier satchels full of grenades. These units proved to be unpredictable in battle. Some fought with distinction, where others needed more encouragement from a political officer. As part of the Chinese special rules, any Chinese army may include a free 12-man conscript squad. This free rifle squad is an addition to units chosen for whatever selector is used by the Chinese forces. Now that's all the paperwork finished. Now let's have a look at the figures. Okay, so let's have a look at the actual box artwork for the Chinese PVA Conscript Squad from Warlord Games. 12 metal 28mm Korean War miniatures. Comes in the typical Gamesworkshop cardboard box. Got the blurb on the side and the actual 10 metal figures and what they actually include. So like I said, 1 NCO, 1 bugler, 10 conscripts with rifles or grenades and plastic bases. And there's the artwork, so we can use that as a guideline for when we go to do some painting. So let's have a look inside. I've already taken the plastic off just to ease passage of time, and we'll have a look inside. So there's the bases. We'll put those to one side because we all know what those look like, and then I'll put the box to one side as well. Okay, so it comes in a cardboard box, and here we have the plastic container with the actual figures in it. So let's have a look at the figures. Okay, as I normally do, let's have a look at that of the packing person bingo, and so it's Rodica today. So thank you very much, Rodica, much appreciated. And let's have a look at the figures. So we've got 1 NCO, 1 bugler, and then we've got 12 conscripts, infantrymen. So armed with rifles and grenades. So I'll just grab a random one and let's have a look. Okay, so yes, again, as a similar we've seen with the similar types, they're individual sculpts. This is wearing the Mao type flat cap, summer tunic and trousers, and he's got puttees on, and he's armed with some type of bolt action rifle, probably an Arasaka or Mosin Nagant. There's a little bit of flash on there, so we can take that off later on. What else is he armed? It's got a bandolier and a pouch. So this is the rifleman. Next conscript is armed with the winter soft cap with the furry ears, armed with the sort of like a stick grenade, very similar to what the Germans used. He's got the pouch, the webbing which carried the actual grenade itself, and no additional weapon. So like I said, they either carried a rifle and grenades, or rifle or grenades on its own. So no doubts when one of his colleagues got killed, he would have picked up the rifle and carried on shooting. And what we have here next conscript, again the soft furry cap, summer tunic, trousers, puttees, and he's carrying a rifle and a grenade on this occasion. He's armed with the grenade webbing and normal pouch as well. Rifleman in a kneeling position. Let's just get the camera to focus on him. There we are. So Mao type cap. Like I said, they use various types of rifles, and probably Conscript's got probably the worst of the lot. So again, he's kneeling position, got his bandolier there with ammunition, satchel, and kneeling position. Aiming position. Bugler, a little flash on the bugle itself, but that clean off. Yeah, he's also armed with the grenade weapon, stick grenade and pouches, wearing similar dresses as his colleagues. No putties this time, probably wearing the boots or the trainer type footwear. Again, buglers were largely involved with the communication, passing messages on to advance or move troops, and also a little bit of the psychological effect of mass bugles going off as well was very sort of, frightening as well, apparently. Next, infantryman in a running pose. Again, soft furry cap. Look, I think this looks like the Arasaka rifle, so it's very similar to the Mauser rifles. Again, this one's only got two satchels. Slightly running pose, a little bit of flash on there again. And I don't know what you do. Do people clip this bit off, or do they actually incorporate it into some sort of scenery, sort of put grass or bushes around it to support the troops? But interesting to see what you do. Just put in the comments below. Next one, this looks like another Conscript Grenadier. So it looks like he's arming the grenades. So with the German stick grenades, it's like friction fuse at the bottom. You unscrew the cap at the bottom, and the little taper pulls out. You pull that, and so with the friction sets the timer off in the grenade when you throw it. So I think these stick grenades in their common form were a blast grenade rather than blast fragmentation. It had a little bit of fragmentation, but it was more blast concussive. So yep, so they got the weapon pouch on there. Again, is in a running pose. In fact, he's actually got two lots of grenade weapons. The Chinese were very good at teaching the use of grenades for both of offensive and defensive warfare. So these seem to be all individual sculpts so far, so they're all different. There's no duplication. So again, wearing the Mao cap, the summer dress uniform, wearing boots or the trainers, armed with like this Arasaka rifle, satchel and bandolier, and it looks like it's in a advancing pose. Next one, again, he looks like he's on guard, rifleman with the winter cap on, bandolier for his rifle clips, which, if I recall, were 5-round clips. He's got his two satchels on there as well. Another rifleman, armed rifle. One thing I've noticed about these, there's no bayonet fittings. So I know some of the rifles actually had fold-out bayonets, but not all of them. So that's something I'll actually look into. Did they carry or use bayonets? There we are. Another Conscript Grenadier, armed with grenades and the two weapon pouches. Patties on this time. And then here's the last chap. There's another rifleman. Bit of flash on him. We'll take that off carefully later on. So there's this winter cap with the ears down on this one. So yeah, so looks like he's wearing a belt. He's got a bandolier. It's either you can either utilise that as webbing, so yeah, for ammunition, or his bedroll, or his food roll. And then you've got the satchel for other items. It's got pockets and stuff, well defined. One thing I'll make sure I do before is that all these metal figures have got this like a dusting powder, which is really part of the manufacturing process, and so just make sure that you wash your all the metal figures before you use them to get this fine powder off. So it does affect it slightly when it comes to painting it and everything else, so just make sure sort of lukewarm soapy water and just give it a brush off, and then that's helpful for painting. So that is the last of the figures. So thank you for joining me for the review of the Chinese People's Voluntary Army Conscript Squad by Warlord Games. What I'll be having a look at next time is the Korean War Chinese People's Volunteer Army S&G Assault Squad. This is a recent release by Warlord Games, and so this is actually new to me, so I'll can come and join us in the next one, and we'll have a look at these figures together. So thank you very much appreciated for joining me. If you like what I do, don't forget to like and subscribe. There's I've got lots of people who watch these types of videos, but not many people subscribing. So if you can help me out by subscribing, that'd be much appreciated. And I will catch up with you very, very soon. So thank you, and all the best now.
Squad morale restored.